Hey guys, James here again, and today we have the new FX Radar. Now this is a product I've been playing with for a few months now, just trying to get the ins and outs and seeing where we are with it, and I'm going to bring you my conclusion today. Now, chronographs, for anybody that's used them before, can be bulky, they can be temperamental. I mean, the amount of times I've seen people shooting the backs out of the old cronies, trying to go out and get the data that we need for the ballistics apps, but it's too light, it's too dark. They were temperamental. When they worked, they were incredible, but they were temperamental. Now, unlike those systems that we've used previously before, this one here runs off radar. So in theory, it could be pitch black and this thing will still run. And as you'll see, it's a lot smaller than previous units. There's no assembly with those arches. You just stick it up on this little tripod, turn it on, connect it, and you're good to go. Now, this one here is one of the first ones that we've been playing with. Now, there is a Mark II. As far as I'm aware, the only difference between a Mark I chronograph, or the Mark I radar, should I say, and the Mark II, is the inclusion of this little mount. Now, this mount here fits on the underside of a barrel, so whether you're using the impact that you just probably see them back here, or any other kind of gun, this here just rests on the bottom, and this plate goes in the top. Now, I'll put a little clip up here. It's super simple to do. On the back of the chronograph, there's literally 4 screws. Lay the unit flat, take the 4 screws out, take the plate that's in there, which has got the camera tripod adapter on at the moment. Just take that out, put the new one in, reverse the process, and as you'll see from that clip there, it literally took me like 26 seconds just to do that. Okay, I'll cut the screws, I'm doing those out of the video, but super simple. I managed it, so most people will be able to manage it. Now, a big difference between this and previous chronographs that you've probably seen before is that this uses an app rather than a digital display on the screen. So for that, you basically just need your phone, so whether it's iPhone, Android, whatever you're using, go to your preferred app store and download FX Radar, and you'll be able to see that you get this little app that comes up here. Now, when you first use the chronograph, or when you first download the app, it will give you a run through with some screenshots showing you how to place the chronograph, obviously making sure that it just goes underneath the barrel, and just some other little tidbits on how to connect it, which is super simple. To connect it, you literally turn the unit on the back, and you'll see you get your little green lights here that will come on to tell you that there's life in the unit, and then all you do is just press connect, and then from there you're good to go. So what we'll do is we'll get this all connected up and paired, and we'll go through the app and just a couple of the basics with the app, because I appreciate technology for some people might be a little bit daunting, might put people off. So we'll give you a quick rough guide to the app, the unit, and then we'll show it in action, show you how the system works, and we'll bring my final thoughts. Alright, so let's do this real time. So we've got the unit powered on, so what we want to do is launch the FX Radar app, and then go down to the bottom here and click Profile. Now, Profile here is where you can select if you've got any pre-saved, so I've got my impact saved here, so if I click on the impact, for example, it will take you back to the home screen. You just have to connect it just by clicking connect, and it's done. Super simple, super quick, already done. So from here, if we click on the profile settings, it will take you through to the presets I've already done. So I've named it FX Impact, so I know that when I click it, that's the profile I'm getting. And it gives you the velocity ranges at the top, and you see you've got 1 through to 6, and each of those has a list underneath showing the velocity ranges that you're going to be working with. So if you're going to be up using the super high powered air guns, then you're going to be on 6, whereas if you're only using, say, a UK spec air guns with sub 12 foot spec air gun, you want to be on something like profile 5, which is what we've got set here. Now, going down, you can set the grains of your pellets, so you can see that you can select the grain, you can select the make as well, so if you want to type in JSB heavy, you can do that. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to select something that's slightly different, so we're going to go for 15.89 grains, 15.89, and we'll put these as the JSB Hades. Now these I'm going to leave, we'll put it on hunting, shall we? We'll put it on the hunting setting, and I've got feet per second that I want my units to go on, and I've also foot-pounds as well, just out of curiosity. Now the radar return here depends on how accurate you want your results to be. So if you're using like a CO2 gun, you want it a little bit lower, say 20%. Now I just, out of habit, have been leaving everything on 20%, and I've been getting good results. So that is what it is. And then at the bottom here is calibrate. Now this, in my opinion, is a bit of a kind of a non issue. Some people are saying, well, how do we know that this chronograph is zeroed to, or that it's similar to my Chrony? Well, there will always be a variance. You could put two Chronies next to each other, they'll probably come out a little bit different. You could put two different makes next to each other, they will come out different. They'll always be about the same, but you'll always have that deviation. So having calibrate basically means that you can adjust it to suit a chronograph that's, you know, that's your preferred one. If you've got a club chronograph and you want them to be reading identical for club purposes, then that's where you can do it. So we've done that, that's all set. I don't need to worry about any of that. So all I need to do now is just go back to home, and it brings up the screen. Now, as you can see, it's got all the data on the top. We've not done the shot string, which I can show you here on the screen now. Once we fired a few shots, that will make a lot more sense. So what we're going to do is we'll get the gun loaded up, get the adapter put on so we can get the barrel on, and we'll fire a group of 10, see what results we get, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of shots with this and show you the unit in action. I've got the screen recording here, which I'll put up on the side as well, so you'll be able to see live what the app is doing. You'll be able to see you've got the last velocity, it will show you the string down the far left, it will also give you some information like your foot poundage down the bottom, and deviations and bits and pieces like that. So let's take a couple of shots at the target and see what we can get.
$557, $552, $547, $547, $531, $547, $571, $564, $559, $573.
Now what this also allows you to do is if you're tuning your rifles, you can see I've got this set a little bit lower at the moment because I'm just experimenting with a few things. But if I want to go lower again, simply adjust my wheel. So if we go down to 3 on the power wheel, and you can see live differences on actually what the velocities are changing. So we're going to go from 570-ish, and then this should drop it right down for us.
462, 478, 466.
So you can see by making that small adjustment, that's taken me down to about 466, about 7 foot-pounds. So if I'm working within a building, this is a really neat feature to have because I can turn the power down. As you can see, making these differences here makes a huge difference in velocity and foot-poundage. So we'll have a quick look at some of the other guns that this is suitable for, see how it performs. So we're going to see how well it does with the Airsoft. Okay, so first thing we want to do is just change profile. So go down to profile, and we'll use CO2 pistol for this because, as I say, the feet per second windows, this should fall within CO2 pistol. Now obviously because you change profiles, you do just have to connect down the bottom, done already. So making sure it's on semi-auto, we'll see how this performs this time. I believe that was the last shot. Now I should say that we're currently having a few cycle issues with this particular one. I'm not quite sure what's going on. So some of the shots actually was taking 2 shots just to get the thing to feed. I think because it's cold, the bolt isn't coming all the way to the back, which isn't picking up the ball bearing. The joys of a gas blowback. Okay, so overall, what do I think of the chronograph? Now, for £149 retail here in the UK at least, I think it offers a really conveniently sized package, super simple to use, and the app is very intuitive. Even if you're not of sort of a technology mind frame, it's very simple, it talks you through it. The online guide at the bottom when you're scrolling through gives you all the information that you could possibly ever need. You've got everything that you need in one place. Now, it's super simple to set up, as I say. You can just chuck it in your bag, chuck it in your pocket. There's no setting up. I've been really impressed. Now, as somebody who does a lot of long range shooting, working with ballistics apps and needing to know what the guns are putting out so that we can work out averages and things. It's always been a case of having to get the calculator out, do it manually, then we get the data. Now having that all in one place, as I say, on the app, it saves us doing that. The data and all the averages are already taken for us. The foot poundage, there's no trying to work out the calculations. It shows it on the bottom of the screen if you've selected that you want to see foot poundage. There's no complicated maths. It takes the complications out of tuning, out of knowing what your guns are doing, and I don't think it's overly expensive. Now, they are around, there's a lot of people stocking them. As I say, the new ones are coming with the barrel mount already. If you've got one of the Mark 1s that hasn't, to the best of my knowledge, FX are actually arranging that you can have one of these mounts sent out to you so that you have it as well. You've got that option. Now, one thing I will just make clear, just for anybody that is wondering, the Joby tripod on the bottom here, that's my own tripod. It's one that I use for low-level filming. It's just a spare one I had. You will need to buy this separately. It doesn't come with any form of tripod on the bottom. So if you've got any questions, any comments, feel free to put them in the box below. I'll try and get back to everybody that I can that has genuine questions as best as I can. We are obviously on Facebook and Instagram as well, so if you want to follow us over there, feel free to check that out. But anyway, guys, until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the new year.